Hey guys, welcome to a new sewing video. I am really excited about this one because today I will be making a vest. I have wanted to make a vest for a while now because, first of all, Rachel Maxey. She looks amazing in her vests and they look so easy to make when she does it. Second of all, I have one vest that I absolutely love because it makes pretty much anything I wear with it look super flattering. I feel like vests, a good vest, just hugs in all the right places that kind of my figure needs in order to, come across the vest. So I want to have more, but they are really hard to find because they're not trendy right now. So I'm gonna make one. I got myself this new look pattern. This is by Simplicity, I think. And guys, my last sewing video, I used a Simplicity pattern for the first time and I made my dress way too big, and so many of you said that I should use the measurements on the actual pattern and not on the booklet or the back of the envelope. And I am so glad you guys told me that, because last time the dress I made was a size 14 and according to the measurements I am supposed to make a size 4. Slight difference. So it looks like I will be making my vest in a size 4 and not a size 14 like my dress. I'll just double check all of that and then I think I can get started right away with copying my pattern onto pattern paper, cutting out my pattern pieces, and time to get started. I do think that with this pattern, because it's not, my first time using a pattern anymore, I think I might do a bit more tweaking to it than I did last time. Last time I just followed the instructions strictly. And this time I want to make sure that this is actually tailored to my body, and I want to leave out some elements of the vest that I don't necessarily want in my finished product. So this one comes with fake pocket things on the side. I'm gonna leave those out because I don't feel like those match my style that well. And this pattern also comes with a belt or kind of strap in the back to tighten it. I don't want that either. I don't like the look of that and I think it'll be uncomfortable to sit against. So I want to just make sure that the back is already fitted and I don't need to, tighten it with a belt. So those are the adjustments that I am planning to make. And someone else also mentioned that I might need to use the petite versions for my upper body because I do have a short torso, and these patterns do come with kind of like shortening lines, shortening options in them. So I think I might just use those so that the vest actually sits at my waist and not a bit too low because my torso is short. That's the plan. Let's get started. The fabric that I will be using for this project is the same dark green that I used for the skirt in my previous dress, but I do think I will have to use a different fabric for the lining because I don't think I have enough of this to make the garment and the lining out of just this stuff. This is just the leftovers from my skirt, so I'll go ahead and search for a different fabric that I can use to line this and then cut out my pattern pieces. I will also have to cut some of them on the cross grain, so I hope that's not a huge problem, but I can't really do it any other way. I think I might regret this, but I chose this fabric for my lining, which is the best fit color-wise and also just out of what I have in my stash. I have a lot of this left and I don't really have any project in mind that I would like to make with this. However, this is cotton jersey. So yeah, this might be a bit more difficult than necessary. However, I have decided that since I am not doing the movable bit in the back anyway, I'm just gonna put interfacing, fusible interfacing on all of the lining bits so that it is no longer stretchy, and that should help me use it because I've never sewn anything stretchy before and that could be a problem, but I think if I just put interfacing on everything, that'll be solved. Fingers crossed. I have enough of it in any case, so yeah, let's move on to cutting out the lining bits. I just realized that it doesn't make much sense to apply interfacing to lining, because why? So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna have to work with this stretchy, slippery fabric after all. But I did cut out more interfacing than I need. I cut out interfacing for all my pattern pieces. So for the pattern pieces that don't actually call for interfacing, I think I'm gonna do the interfacing on the lining. Again, just for ease of use, I guess. We'll see what happens. I have stay stitched along the front here of the front pieces, and now I need to attach the fronts to the front sides. This seems to be a really simple pattern. I know it said easy on the envelope, but for some reason I didn't really buy that. But it actually does look quite simple. There's only 4 pattern pieces as well, because I left out the welts and the belt in the back. I actually feel like I might finish this one really quickly. That would be great. I have my 2 front pieces. It's looking really good. I like where this is going. So I am next to attach the back to the side back. So I think that's what the last thing I'm going to do today, and then tomorrow I will finish the lining and the facing and things like that, and it'll be done. This is a really quick and not too complicated project actually. It's much easier than I feared going into this, so that's great. Good morning everyone. It's a new day, and the next step in my project is to make the thing I made yesterday, but out of lining this time. So I have all my lining pieces lined out here. They're all interfaced, which hopefully makes them a bit easier to work with, because, you know, stretchy fabric and all. So I'm just gonna do that, and I think we're almost there actually. Yay! So I'm gonna make, yeah, the whole vest again out of lining, and then attach the lining, make the buttonholes, attach the buttons. That should pretty much be it. Really excited. I have attached the garment and the lining right sides together, and now I am to stitch along the armholes here. Yeah, it's looking really good. I'm still very happy with it. Next step is understitching, which means stitching the seam allowance on the inside to the lining. So I'm gonna lay it down like this and then sew along here so that the seam allowance is attached to the lining, and that's gonna just neaten up the edges here. So I'm gonna do that. I am now pinning the lining to the garment, and it's time to sew everything up and then turn it inside out. Hopefully Looks pretty complicated, but it needs to be possible somehow. So I'm gonna sew all this up and then turn it inside out, and then we'll get a look at what is close to the final garment, I think. Alrighty, my vest is turned inside out and pressed and looking good. So this next bit took me a while to figure out, but I am to turn it inside out again. And now what I think they want me to do is take the lining on both sides, pull it over the seams like that, and then stitch along here, start stitching here, sew through the vest. And then do the same thing on the other side. So take some of the lining and then stitch into the lining. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And then kind of flip it inside out through that hole that remains from that. So I'm just gonna try that and hope it's what I'm supposed to do and see what happens when I do that. It's very puzzle-like, this project. But I must say it's looking quite good. I'm very happy with this lining. Look! Ooh. That did not go quite as I had hoped. It's a bit uneven on both ends, but I do understand what's happening now. It's stitched inside the lining and then you just hand stitch this. So I'm just gonna unpick the seam, do it again properly this time, and then I should get this right on both ends. Well, it's definitely not too big this time. Why are these measurements not accurate? Why? I should be perfectly able to fit into this garment, and yet I don't. I don't know what to do. I would barely be able to close this like this, let alone have it overlap for buttons. One thing I know for sure that I got right is my chest measurement, and I mean, it's just not happening. Oh, how do I fix this? I think I might be able to save this if I do a string, kind of like corset type closure in the front, make it look intentional. Because, I mean, it is quite nice. I'm just missing a couple centimeters in the front here. The armholes are a little tight as well, but I can definitely live with that. I can still wear something inside this. It's really just the front. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think this is gonna close with a tie instead of buttons. At least I won't have to make buttonholes. Oh man, but I am not quite there yet. I still need to close off the seams on the inside, so I'm gonna do that by hand and then see how I will deal with the front closure. Here is the finished result, guys. I ended up doing little hook and eye closures down the front. I think I need to move them a bit further back because it does create a little bit of a gap here and I'm not too big of a fan. I would like it to close completely if it does have these hook and eye closures. But it does close this way, and I realized that if I wanted to do the rope or ribbon type closure, then I would have to make grommets, I believe they're called. Those little metal kind of like eyelets, and I don't know how to do those. And I don't think it would look that great if it had, you know, just like metal bits going down the front. So I opted for hook and eye closure for now. I might change that later, but at least it fits me now. And everything else I am quite happy with. I feel like maybe the waist could have been a bit more defined, or maybe I just need a bit more room for the hips, because it does tend to bunch up here a little bit. I feel like ideally it would need to come out a bit at a bit more of an angle, I guess, but it's not too bad. I am actually really happy with it. I think it looks great. I'm very proud of this because, again, this is something completely new for me. I did loads of things I have never done before. I mean, it's completely lined on the inside. Let me just show you that. So fully lined. I really like the lining. Gonna just show it to you. There we go. I really like how that looks. I think it's quite Hobbity, which I love. That was definitely what I was going for. And I am just, yeah, very pleased. I will leave the pattern that I used in the description, so I definitely do recommend this pattern. Be careful of the size, use your measurements and then go one size up for this. That should give you a good fit, I think. Or just size down 1 or 2 from the measurements on the back. Yeah, I am quite happy with this. I'll definitely be wearing it. It was a fairly quick project as well. I finished this in 2 days and I feel like someone who actually knows what they're doing could easily do this in a couple of hours. It's definitely one of my quickest projects to date, but yeah, that is it. So I really hope you enjoyed watching, guys. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for loads more beauty and lifestyle content. If you would like to support me through Patreon or my merch store, there'll be links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you for watching and I'll see you very soon in my next video.